former students, former principals, former teachers and current teachers and staff, guests, current families and families. Welcome to Garfield. My name is Joy Long and I am the current principal at Garfield Elementary. It's an honor to have you all here to celebrate this momentous occasion. While I'm sure that Garfield has changed a lot over the years, I think that you will also find that a lot of it has stayed much the same. We have a special program arranged for tonight, but in case I don't get the opportunity to share my thanks later, I want to thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoy your visit back in time. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, former Garfield Principal, Mr. Rick Nedelecki.
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to this wonderful celebration. It is so great to be back at Garfield. I am Rick Nedelecki, as she announced. I'm a former principal here, and I enjoyed my time here at Garfield and had a wonderful, wonderful career here. Life is funny. All of a sudden, you're getting old. Your body is changing. Things aren't working the right way. You kind of stay out of mirrors, and one day you look in the mirror and all of a sudden, holy mackerel, I'm getting old. The older you get, then all of a sudden you retire. You hang it up, and then they put you out to pasture. Well, being out in the pasture is pretty nice. You know, it's a good deal. You get to do whatever you want. It's kind of like being a kid again, and you're doing all these things. I don't even know what day it is of the week. I don't know time. I don't know anything. And then I get a phone call. Well, I kind of said to myself, should I answer it or not? I don't recognize the number, but I answered it. And doggone it was Nancy Rao. Nancy Rao says to me, we're having a 100-year celebration for Garfield Elementary School. Wow, that's neat. That's really neat. Would you like to be part of it? Yeah, I'll be glad to help out. Would you like to be Master of Ceremony? She says, this is just going to be a little event. So I said, sure, yeah. So I said, sure, I'll do it, you know. So I want to thank her for having me be the Master of Ceremonies at this little event, you know. So thanks, Nancy. My job... My job as the Master of Ceremonies is to be short and sweet, to keep the program running and to make sure that we stay on time. Well, now anybody who knows me, they know I'm not short and I'm not sweet. So my wife, before we came over, if you see a crazy lady stand up someplace out there in the audience and give me one of these signs, that will be my wife. And I'm sure that some of the teachers that I taught with, when they see that I get going, they'll give me the cut sign too. So, and out there in the audience, please don't hesitate to give me the cut sign. Okay. Our program will be approximately 20 to 30 minutes. After the program, there'll be a raffle. We would like everybody to participate in the raffle. Garfield School, to me, is like an old oak tree. Old oak trees, they just get bigger, they get stronger, and they just get better all the time. They keep growing, they spread out, and that's kind of what Garfield does. It gets better with age. It influences more students every year, and it influences the Garfield community. I like the old adage that says, they don't make them like they used to, and they don't make the schools like they used to make Garfield Elementary School. So with that in mind, I would like to thank Joy Long and Nancy Rao for making me a part of this wonderful celebration. So with that in mind, I would like to introduce Emily Barnes and the Garfield Singers. Thank you very much, Emily, and your wonderful singers. You know, I like it when you sing about being 100 years old, because that makes me feel younger. And that is a good feeling, so thank you for doing that. You are a great way to start out our program. Your singing is wonderful, and I could listen to you all day long. One thing I would like for everybody to do in our audience, as our program goes on, I would like for you to think of the fond memories you have at Garfield Elementary School. And at the end of the program, I would like for you to share those fond memories with your neighbors who are sitting next to you. So again, please think of the fond memories that come when you think of Garfield Elementary School. At this time, I would like to honor some special people. You know, when a school is 100 years old, they've had a lot of people that have graced these halls. And we've had a lot of staff members. At this time, we'd like to have all the former and retired principals and teachers from Garfield Elementary please stand up and get a round of applause. You know what's nice is all the familiar and happy faces that we see out in the crowd. I see a lot of people that I work with, and it's very nice to see so many wonderful people. At this time, too, I would like to also have all the current staff members of Garfield Elementary stand up and please take a round of applause from the audience. Thank you. You know, it's funny, life goes so fast. I've spent all 64 years of my life here in Cedar Rapids. I was a teacher in the Cedar Rapids school system for 34 years. And in 2002, I won the lottery jackpot. I became principal of Garfield Elementary School. And man, was I one lucky guy. I had 4 wonderful years at Garfield from 2002 to 2006. And it was one big happy family, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was too bad I had to get old. I'm very proud to have played a small part in the longevity and success of Garfield Elementary School. I learned 2 things when I was at Garfield. Number 1 is that Garfield is a great place to be. And number 2, when you're at Garfield, life is always good. And those are 2 important things to remember. What I remember most about being here is the students, the staff. What a dedicated staff, great students, and the parents. They made our community a great place to be. It was a great place to work. It was a great place to teach. It was a wonderful community place for students to go to school. And I thank all of them for those wonderful years. Everyone worked very hard, but I have to say we had a lot of fun. And we loved to laugh and share a lot of things, and so life was pretty good. If I had any success at Garfield Elementary School, it was due to my secretary. I see her sitting over here, and I'm embarrassing the heck out of her. Chris Goshner. Would you please stand up, Chris? Was a fantastic secretary. I learned one thing that helped me when I walked in this building. When Chris said jump, I simply said how high. And from then on, we had 4 years of a really good partnership, and I would like to thank her for all those good years, and embarrass her at the same time. As principal, it's interesting. You go to a lot of meetings outside of your building. I'm not a very good meetings person. I see Joyce Fowler down here, and she would attest to the fact that I'm not a very good at going to meetings. But we had a lot of meetings as principal, and you always had to leave the building. Now, I didn't like to leave the building, but I'd go to the meetings, I'd act like I was paying attention, take a few notes, nod my head, but all the time in the back of my head I was thinking, hey, I gotta go home. And for me, home was Garfield School. And the beauty of Garfield School, I've been retired for 9 years. When I walked into Garfield tonight, It's like coming home. It's like I've never left. So Garfield is a wonderful legacy to leave when you feel at home when you come back to the school. So again, I'm very pleased to have worked at Garfield. At this time, I would like to welcome our student council from Garfield. I would also like to welcome the mayor of Cedar Rapids, the Honorable Ron Corbett. Ron?
Thank you. Happy birthday, Garfield. You don't look like you're 100 years old. Congratulations to everyone involved with putting on this event. Obviously, 100 years is a milestone for a building, but it's really the activities, the experiences, the education, the sporting events that took place within this building and on this property that's made it special over the last 100 years. And your attendance here this evening, along with all of those in the hall and people that couldn't be here tonight that send their well wishes. So it's my honor this evening to present this proclamation to the student council here. And if one of you could jump up on stage, maybe. You stand here and face the audience out, and I'll read it. Okay, it's a proclamation from the city of Cedar Rapids. Whereas Garfield School first opened its doors at 1201 Maplewood Drive a century ago in the year 1915. And whereas Garfield School, situated near both Coe College and Mount Mercy University, has contributed significantly to the well-being and enduring positive presence in the Mountview Farm and Daniels Park neighborhood. And whereas Garfield School has served as a productive workplace for caring staff, a teaching home to countless dedicated educators, and a haven of learning for hundreds of energetic students. And whereas Garfield Schools offers a nurturing learning environment that looks forward to a promising future with enthusiasm through its We're Going to College motto and its achieving a State of Iowa Blue Zone designation. Whereas the current generation of Garfield School family wishes to honor the steadfastness and longevity of this esteemed place. Now, therefore, I, Ron Corbett, Mayor of Cedar Rapids, with sincere congratulations and best wishes for more rewarding years ahead, do hereby declare May 7th, today, 2017, as the 100th anniversary of Garfield Elementary School. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor Ron Corbett. Thank you. That's truly an honor to have bestowed on the students at Garfield Elementary School. You know, there's one thing nice to see, that after all these years, that we still can't, that when it's time for one student to come up, and about 15 come up, and that's wonderful to see. So we're going to work on our math skills a little bit later tonight. But it is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mark Stouffer Hunter, who is the historian for the city of Cedar Rapids for the History Center. He is going to give us a brief history of Garfield Elementary School. Mark?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations on the 100th anniversary of Garfield School. It's truly a monumentous event. This is the first time Garfield, along with Arthur Elementary, are the first Cedar Rapids school buildings that have been used continuously for 100 years. That has never happened before in the history of this city, so congratulations on that. This school has an incredible history, 100 years of great education, great fun, I would imagine as well, and great history. There is a lot of history with this site. This land was all owned by George Green, that Green Square Park is named after in downtown Cedar Rapids, and the area was known as the Mound Farm. And the view from the Mound Farm is the Mound View. And this is a pretty amazing area steeped in Cedar Rapids history. There were some concerns when Garfield opened 100 years ago that perhaps, just perhaps, this school might be too far out in the country. But people had faith in Cedar Rapids in the northeast quadrant, that the houses would be built, the neighborhood would fill up, and there probably were some kids that came in from the nearby rural areas along the old Marion Road, which we now call Oakland Road, and the old Center Point Road that would take people to the north. It's a great building. It's a very special building. It is a very unique school building. Garfield School doesn't look like any other school in the school district. It is truly special. The columns in the front of the building are Egyptian-style columns. This is the only school building, this is the only building in Cedar Rapids that has Egyptian-style architecture. That makes it pretty darn special to look at. And the architect of this building, you may or may not know, the architect of this building was an architect from Cedar Rapids. His name was Charles Demon. He did other beautiful buildings in Cedar Rapids, like the St. Wenceslas Catholic Church. So we have beautiful, beautiful architecture here in Cedar Rapids. I have been so touched by the staff, the volunteers, all the people here at Garfield. I've been over here quite a bit the last few weeks, and I'm so moved by the love of history that everybody here has. The wonderful displays over in the history room. And I know now that Garfield is more than just a historic building. It's a great building full of great people, and all of you are great people. You can't get great history without great people, and that's what Garfield School is all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Garfield certainly has an interesting history. And think of all the students that have walked through these halls and sat in the classrooms at Garfield Elementary School. It's incredible. And Garfield has certainly played a role not only in the development of students, but also in the development of the city of Cedar Rapids. So again, it's great to know history and to learn things that we didn't know. Now I would like to introduce Joy Long, current principal of Garfield Elementary School.
Another part of our history was a former secretary who took over after Chris Oshner left, and her name is Chris Cessna. Chris was secretary at Garfield from 2007 until September 2012 when she succumbed to cancer. I remember my first day on the job, and before I came, she said, "Give me a little bit of time." And so I came over, and when I walked in the door, here she was with two great big barrels, just throwing things out of the office, trying to make room for me and my stuff. She was one not to keep things around, so I really appreciated that. She welcomed me that first day. Chris had many things that were important to her. First and foremost were her family, her husband John and her son Michael. She was very proud of them, and she shared lots of stories with me about how much fun she had watching Michael grow up and playing baseball and show fire and all of those fun things. Another level is planting and gardening, and she did have a green thumb. She took a lot of pride in that, and she always kept my plants watered, which I'm not very good at now either, so I really miss that one. But one of her best loves was reading, and she would share with me exciting tales from books that she had read. She was also very good at critiquing books that maybe she didn't find that great either. And so it's this love of reading that we want to remember tonight. When Chris passed away, several people honored her with some memorial money, and it's taken a long time for us to figure out what we wanted to do in order to honor her memory in the best way, and I think we found it. We are dedicating this book card, the Chris Memorial Book Card, in honor of Chris Cessna, and it is going to be coupled with a reading program for our students next year. where they will get to take books home nightly and read with their families and bring them back the next day. And so we think that this is a great way to honor Chris's memory and her love for reading. So please join me, along with her husband John and son Michael, in dedicating the Chris Cessna Memorial Book.
Thank you, Joy, and also a thank you to Chris's family. What a wonderful legacy to leave for Garfield Elementary students. They will enjoy reading those books. They'll take them home. They will broaden the horizons. Thank you very much. Very, very nice of you. It is now time to hear some sweet music. So we are going to hear from the Sweet Adelines. Thank you, Sweet Adelines. That was beautiful. You know, I'm going to come to you and take some music lessons.
Audio.
That sound better? I don't think it's. Oh, that's yours. Can you hear me now? Oh,
Your principal, shout.
that's right. You know, it's you might wonder why I have a clipboard. And the reason I have a clipboard is because I'm a former coach. At least I thought I was the coach. And coaches always have a clipboard. It makes you feel comfortable. You know, the nice thing about getting away from the mic is I can move around and I can walk. Sweet Adelines, that was beautiful. You know, as I said earlier, I'm going to come to you and get some lessons because I've got to tell a true story. Usually when I'm standing on stage, I don't tell true things. but I got to tell a few stories. I sing to my granddaughter all the time. I last about 10 seconds, and she sticks up her hand and she says, "Enough, Gramps, enough." So I'm going to come to you so I can learn how to sing better. Before we have our final presentation, I'd like to take a minute and thank our special guests. Special guests being former past and retired, former teachers, former principals, retired principals. Again, thank you very much for coming, and thank you for gracing these wonderful halls of Garfield Elementary School. I'd also like to thank Mayor Ron Corbett. It's been an honor to have him here. He has led us through a very tough time in our history with the flood and has done a great job. Also, I'd like to thank our historian, the History Center from the history, Mark Stoper Hunter, who had to leave earlier. And I'd also like to thank you, the audience. The reason that we have schools is because of the people that attend them. And it's wonderful to have this many people come to an event to celebrate a 100-year celebration. And here's what the school is all about. I'd like to thank Joy Long and the current Garfield staff for continuing the excellence and tradition of Garfield Elementary School. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Nancy Rao. I don't know where she went. There she is. I'd like to thank Nancy Rao for including me in this wonderful celebration. I've had a great time. Please don't call again, but it's been fun. She was instrumental in setting this up. You know the nice thing about when you're up here and people are down there, you get to embarrass people. Right, Mrs. Goldman? Okay. Nancy Rao, would you come up here a minute? Come on, come on.
Okay, all right.
You know, it's always fun to have payback. Nothing is nothing is free in life. Nothing. Okay. No, the reason I have Mrs. Rao up here, the reason I have Nancy up here, is because Nancy is what education is all about. Nancy is a former student at Garfield Elementary School. Her parents were students at Garfield Elementary School. Her grandfather was a student at Garfield School. And Nancy had one dream, and that was to be a teacher at Garfield Elementary School. She realized that dream. She's been doing it for 20-some years. She has touched the lives of hundreds of students. She has affected the lives of our Garfield community. She's done a great job, and she deserves to be recognized. Thank you. I darn near made her cry. I was hoping so. No.
I did that earlier.
You did that earlier, okay.
Woo! I was just going to say one of your things, same. Okay, all right.
The last thing that I would like to say, and then I'm going to turn it over to her. I thought she was going to zing me. So you know, when I think of Garfield Elementary School, I think of a big rock. And when you throw a rock in a pond, it makes ripples. And those ripples were felt by all the students and all the people outside of the school. And those ripples just keep on going and going and going. Garfield will live forever. So again, thank all of you for coming. It's been a wonderful night. Nancy, I'll let you speak and then I'll end it up.
Well, I was just going to say that the words you always said, that, let's say it together, Garfield's a great place to be. There you go. All right, very good. I would like to remind you that after the program tonight... Mr. Ned, we're going to sing happy birthday, okay? We're going to turn it over to Emily Barnes.
Yes,
okay, great. All right.
Come back over here, will you? As a reminder, please remember that the raffle is immediately following the program, and we'd like everybody to participate in that. I'd also like to remind everybody to sign the guest book if you haven't done that, which is as you enter the building. And last but not least, we'd like to have Emily Barnes step back up with the choir, and they're going to sing us a few songs to end our program. Thank you.
Stand up. Turn around. It turns out we're singing Happy Birthday to Garfield. So you all can help with that. And then we have after that a very short Garfield cheer, and we'll teach you how to do it. It's very easy. So, who's my kid? Oh, I'll just take either one. Okay. Garfield. Ready? Here we go. Now we're going to teach you our little cheer. It's really very easy. I'll be the leader and they'll be the followers. And then we will do it and you can be the followers. It goes like this. Dream big. Dream big. Work hard. Work hard. Be successful. Be successful. Because we're going to college. Got all that? All right. Be the leaders. Ready? Go. Dream big. Dream big. Work hard. Work hard. Be successful. Be successful. Because we're going to
Again, we'd like to thank all of you for coming. It's fantastic to have everybody here. And I'd also like to make the date with all of you and to say at the next 100-year celebration for Garfield, we'll all plan to be here. But if I'm not here, I promise you I'll be here in spirit. So thank you very